Back when I was moving several years ago, I decided to get rid of a lot of old furniture. I had bought my first home and no longer needed the cheap stuff from my old rental, which was a single-story house with a basement, 2 bedrooms, and 2 bathrooms. Most of my furniture had been acquired for free or very cheaply, and while some pieces were worth keeping, a lot of it needed to go. I listed the leftover items on Craigslist for free, hoping to clear out the space quickly. Days passed without any interest, but finally, someone contacted me saying they wanted the furniture. Relieved, I gave them my address and arranged for them to pick it up the next day. The person, who I later found out was named Dave, texted me when he arrived. I realized too late that I didn't know what he looked like. Peeking out the window, I saw a young, skinny man with long blonde hair stepping out of a beat-up old car. My unease grew as I wondered how he planned to fit all the furniture in that tiny vehicle. Dave knocked on my door, and I introduced myself. He seemed strange right from the start, but I couldn't pinpoint why. I invited him inside and showed him the furniture, hoping he'd take it quickly and leave. Instead, Dave walked past the furniture and headed deeper into my house, mumbling something I couldn't catch. He disappeared into the back, and I was left standing there, bewildered. After a few moments of confusion, I decided to follow him. I heard a door open and walked towards the basement. Calling out to him yielded no response, so I cautiously descended the stairs, turning on lights as I went. The basement was filled with junk and poorly lit, with plenty of places for someone to hide. I called out again, but Dave remained silent and unseen. Fear crept in, and I decided to go back upstairs. As I reached the kitchen, I heard footsteps in the basement. Panic surged, and I sprinted to my bedroom, locking myself in. I called the police, staying on the line until they arrived. When they did, they found Dave still in the basement. He was arrested, and it turned out he was on drugs. I was left shaken, grateful that he hadn't harmed me, but disturbed by the close call. A couple of months later, another strange incident occurred. My wife and I were awoken in the middle of the night by a knock on the front door. It was 2 a.m., and I cautiously approached the door to see a man standing there. He claimed to be from Craigslist, here to buy a TV. We hadn't listed anything for sale. He knew my name and showed me texts with my address, telling him to come at 2 a.m. Confused and wary, I told him he had the wrong person and sent him away, hoping it was a bizarre mistake or a failed attempt at something more sinister. Years passed without incident, until one night I needed extra money and found a moving job on Craigslist. The pay was good, and I agreed to help a guy named Rob move. Arriving at his house, we spent hours loading trucks and then drove to his new place, a remote house on a quiet dirt road. After unloading, Rob grew strange, insisting I stay. When I pressed to leave, he ignored me. I texted a friend for help, and when he arrived, I made a dash for his car. Rob followed us, his car tailing ours until we drove to a police station. He finally left, but the experience left me unnerved and thankful for my friend's assistance. The final straw came when I was selling an old couch on Craigslist. A woman named Gabby bought it, and that night, I was awoken by loud banging on my doors and windows. Multiple people seemed to be trying to break in. Terrified, I called the police and hid under my covers. By the time the police arrived, the intruders had vanished. I suspected Gabby was involved, but without proof, I could only speculate. The incident left me shaken and wary of using Craigslist ever again. These experiences taught me the dangers of online transactions and the unpredictable nature of strangers. Each incident could have ended far worse, and I am thankful to have come out unscathed, though forever cautious.